Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to our writing lesson for today. Our writing lesson is going to be continuing on with writing about reading, and we're going to be using another Scaredy Squirrel book for our writing lesson for today. We're actually going to do our writing activity first before we do the read aloud of Scaredy Squirrel. And I'm going to explain to you why in a little bit. We're going to be learning a little bit about making predictions. And so what really good writers do when they're writing about a story that they're reading is they take what they know about a character and use kind of those things that they've learned about that character to predict what is going to happen in the next book. So this works really well with like reading series books, like what we've been doing with Scaredy Squirrel. So if there's a character who is, he's the main character in a lot of different books, then you can use a lot of information that you know about the character already to make a prediction about what's going to happen in another one of those books. So a couple important things to know when you're reading a book like Scaredy Squirrel series, or if you're reading another series of books. Two things that are really important to know are that characters have some similarities between books, and then the other thing is that there are differences as well. There's when you're reading a series like Scaredy Squirrel, Scaredy Squirrel might have a lot of the same character traits that he's had in previous books. But he also might have some different character traits as well in future books. So again, we're going to be predicting how the story will go, and we're going to be using what we know about the other stories in the Scaredy Squirrel series to kind of predict what's going to happen in this story. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to go to the next page, and you are going to see an example of how you can set up your prediction writing. So again, we are going to use what we know about characters to make predictions. So use what they know to guess what the character will do next. That's what good writers do when they're writing about a story they're reading. So here's just kind of a little example of some sentence starters that you can use to help you make your prediction. So it says, in the books I already read, Scaredy Squirrel blank. This could be what Scaredy Squirrel has done in previous books. It could be how he acted in previous books, some things that you notice that he does in every book. So that's something that you can write in that space. And then the next part says, so I predict in this book he will blank. And you're going to tell me kind of what you think Scaredy Squirrel is going to do in this book based on some of the things that you noticed that he did in previous books. So down here it says, before listening to the read aloud, write a prediction about what you think will happen in the story Scaredy Squirrel at Night. That's going to be the story that we read today. Use the example above to help you with your writing. So in the Google Doc, I actually took these sentence starters and put them into the document so that way you can use them as well for your writing. So when you click on this link, you're going to see the assignment pop up, and you are going to go and click the Google Doc. And then when you do that, you should get a page that looks exactly like this. And so you're going to write your name, you're going to write the date, and then the direction says, make a prediction about what you think will happen in the story Scaredy Squirrel at Night. And here are some of those two sentence starters that I told you I was going to put in there for you. So you can literally just read that sentence starter and then write onto it. So for example, in the books I already read, Scaredy Squirrel, so I remember from the previous books that we read about Scaredy Squirrel that he loves to plan everything that he does. He always has like a really like in-depth and detailed plan. So I could say something like, in the books I already read, Scaredy Squirrel makes a plan for everything he does. So that could be one thing that I noticed Scaredy Squirrel does in every book of the Scaredy Squirrel series. So that's what I wrote from my example. So again, in the books I already read, Scaredy Squirrel makes a plan for everything he does. So I predict in this book he will, I'm going to say, make a plan that will help him sleep. So I'm predicting this before I even read the story. So I just learned, I look at the title, Scaredy Squirrel at Night, and I kind of think about, so I know that Scaredy Squirrel makes a plan in everything that he does. So maybe this one has something to do with him making a plan to help him sleep better. That's kind of what I'm predicting this story is going to be about. So there's my prediction right there. In the books I already read, Scaredy Squirrel makes a plan for everything he does. So I predict in this book, he will make a plan that will help him sleep. That's going to be my prediction. So once I'm done making my prediction, I can turn in my assignment, and then I'm going to go back to the slides, and I'm going to go on to the next page. Again, this is only when you have finished writing your prediction for Scaredy Squirrel at Night. So once you wrote your prediction, you're going to go to the next page, and you're going to listen to the read aloud, and you are going to check if your prediction was accurate, which means, does Scaredy Squirrel do what you predicted he would do in this story? Okay, so first thing you're going to do is write your prediction, like how I showed you just before. And then once you have written your prediction and turned it in, and you have finished it all, then I want you to listen and read along with the read aloud of Scaredy Squirrel at Night, and I want you to check to see if your predictions were accurate, or if Scaredy Squirrel did what you predicted he would do in the story. Okay, so that's going to be our writing lesson for today. So I can't wait to see all of the predictions that you make before reading the read aloud, and I also can't wait to see if you really enjoy this story today, and I can't also wait to see if your predictions were accurate or if they weren't accurate. Either way, it's okay. Give yourselves a pat on the back anyway for at least making a prediction and writing your prediction out in words, which is really the whole point of this writing lesson, not if you were right or wrong about your prediction. So as long as you're able to form a prediction, that's great, and that's what I'm looking for. It doesn't matter if your prediction's right or wrong, but just check to see if it is anyway. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this read aloud and this story. And again, I can't wait to see your predictions and what you guys thought this book would be about today. So hope you enjoy it, and great work today on your writing.